countdown begin. Raze back live again. Pop culture, entertainment, of course, the hot topics. Traveling somewhere in the tropics. Usually preserved for smoke show panels, $1 million plays. We expanding the channel, they say opinions like assholes. Watch your mouth at all times and don't mess up the cash flow. We live.
Hit that like button, guys. Salute everybody. Raze is back live again, and we got some breaking news. Yes, in the world of entertainment, President Donald Trump has been delivering pardons and commuting sentences today. He has been on a pardon spree. As we speak, we are just getting breaking news that Larry Hoover's life sentence has been commuted to time served federally. Hit the like button, guys. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean Larry Hoover is free to go home? And that's the confusion with a lot of people. We're going to get to the bottom of this right now. Hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button. Let's see what is going on and why. Why do you guys believe Trump would actually commute the sentence of Larry Hoover? For some people that don't know, Larry Hoover was the founder of the Gangster Disciples out there inside Chicago. And people are wondering, are these pardons setting up for a potential pardon of Diddy, guys? You just never know with this stuff. You don't never know. I have been covering the Diddy story for the past, few months since Diddy has been arrested, and the trial has started now. And people have been saying Trump is going to pardon Diddy anyway. I've been saying I don't think so, at least not yet. But maybe towards the end of Trump's term, he could do it. He may do it. I don't know how close they were, Diddy and Trump. I know Diddy didn't really support Trump politically, but he has stayed inside Trump's hotels, but this is big news. Larry Hoover, according to the Chicago Tribune, has had his federal life sentence commuted to time served, basically, right? But does this mean he's getting released? Now, Trump also gave a pardon to NBA YoungBoy. I'm going to get into that in a minute also. But this is from the Chicago Tribune right there. Chicago Tribune, if you guys can see Trump right there. Now, I'm going to read to you guys. What does this mean? Trump commutes federal life sentence of founding Gangster Disciples kingpin Larry Hoover. You guys remember the song? I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work. Hallelujah. Yes, from Rick Ross. And this is the guy, Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover. Now let's see what it goes on to say, according to Chicago Tribune. President Donald Trump has commuted the federal life sentence for infamous Chicago-born Gangster Disciples founder Larry Hoover, abruptly ending Hoover's years-long quest to win early release under the First Step Act passed during Trump's first term. The two-page order said Hoover's sentence was considered served with no further fines, restitution, probation, or other conditions. All right. And directed the U.S. Bureau of Prisons to release him immediately, according to a copy of the document provided by Hoover's legal team. Okay, now, does this mean, we're going to answer that right now. We are going to get to that. Hit the like button, guys. You guys come in. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Does this mean Larry Hoover is being released from prison? Now, this means he will be released from federal prison. But there's a catch. There is a big catch to this. The controversial move, part of a slew of clemency actions announced by the White House this week, appeared to have already sparked Hoover's transfer out of the Supermax prison compound in Florence, Colorado. All right, that he called home for the past 2 decades. 2 decades he's been up in there. But Hoover isn't going free. That's the catch. He's still serving a 200-year sentence for his state court conviction. Woo. All right. He has a 200-year state, not federal, state conviction that's still remaining, because when a president gives you a federal pardon, it's for federal charges. It does not clear you of state charges. Now, technically, this is a commutation. It wasn't like a straight up federal pardon, but still, even if it was a straight out federal pardon, it still would not apply to the state conviction. So 200 years, he still has to serve for his state court conviction for murder. All right. So officials with the Illinois Department of Corrections have previously said they will push for Larry Hoover to finish his state sentence in federal prison due to security concerns. Well, he's going to have to stay in state prison because he has been, he's not going to have to do any more time in federal prison because of the Trump, commutation. So on Wednesday afternoon, Larry Hoover was listed in online state prison records as an inmate at Dixon Correctional Center in Western Illinois, though it was unclear if he'd already made it there. The records show a parole date of October 2062. Wow. So he's not looking at parole till October 2062. Right now, I think he's 73 years old. So in a statement to the Tribune, Hoover's attorney called Trump's decision a historic development after years of fighting in federal court. The courts have demonstrated a complete unwillingness to consider Mr. Hoover's rehabilitation, the lawyer wrote. Sometimes the court does not do the right thing, but thanks to the work of so many advocates and supporters keeping Mr. Larry Hoover's voice alive, and ultimately the president taking action to deliver justice, we are thrilled to see Mr. Hoover released. Now it's time for the IDOC to do the right thing. Okay, an IDOC spokesperson could not immediately be reached. So he's saying it's time for the state of Illinois to do the right thing and release Larry Hoover. So we're going to see if the state actually follows. I guess that'll be the governor, right, of Illinois. He would have the power to pardon Larry Hoover or commute the sentence to time served. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see if the governor of Illinois would follow Trump and just go ahead and commute the sentence, But all right. Hoover's lawyer says he argues that he is not a threat to the community and that he will not do what he once did. The summary of Hoover's statement continued, he would not make the same mistakes, and he admits today that he did make those mistakes and those choices in the past. So that's according to Larry Hoover. Yeah, guys. So what are y'all guys thinking? What do y'all guys thinking about this? Larry Hoover. Y'all surprised? Y'all are shocked? It says federal prosecutors have opposed any breaks for Larry Hoover, now age 74. He's 74, arguing he did untold damage to communities across Chicago during his reign on the streets. They argued he has continued to hold sway over the gang's hierarchy while in prison, even promoting and underlying he secretly communicated with through coded messages hidden in a dictionary. However, Larry Hoover's attorney, meanwhile, have claimed that decades behind bars have left him a changed man and that prosecutors have unfairly painted him as a puppet master to try to keep him locked up. All right. All right. So, guys, what do you guys got to say about this? Will the state of Illinois follow suit and go ahead and give Larry Hoover a second chance, as they say, or will they keep him locked up to finish his state sentence of 200 years? Man, that's a lot. That is a lot. But what is Trump's angle with this? What is Trump's angle with this pardon of Larry Hoover? Is he positioning himself to pardon Diddy? Not right away, But let's say if Diddy was to be convicted, you know, Trump is getting older himself. He does not have to run for president yet, again. Will Trump go ahead and, hey, pardon P. Diddy also once it's time for Trump to leave office? You know, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. And we're just talking about right there the pardon of NBA YoungBoy. And we're going to get into NBA YoungBoy in a minute. And Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover. Okay, Larry Hoover right there. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's see who's in this comment section right now. It means another distraction. It means another distraction. None of them ever have or will build schools, says JoJo. What do y'all guys got to say about this? About JoJo's comment? He says just another distraction. Let's see. Let's see what else y'all got to say. The other way, he still remains in state prison. Yes, 200 years in state prison. Will, it's a possibility. Will the state of Illinois release him? I don't know. I don't know. Larry Hoover's lawyer, he seems positive, and he was ecstatic that you know, it's been commuted. The federal charge has been commuted, not pardoned outright, but commuted to time served in federal prison. I believe he thinks they have a good chance to convince the powers that be in the state of Illinois to commute the sentence of the 200 years, Auto. You know, I don't know. But this is a surprise out of nowhere. So, hey, who knows? Who knows what will happen? You know? Let me see. Happy National Burger Day, says Auto. Salute to you. M. Max says, this is a diversion. Hoover did 54 years in Trump pardon those Chrisleys that only did 2 years. Why didn't Trump pardon him during his first term? Says N. Mac. Trump likes donations. Okay, so yeah, I know Todd Chrisley and his wife has been pardoned also. They will be released. They got full pardons. They will be released. M. Mac. Let me see. And Trump likes donations, says JT. Now, like I said, it gets to Diddy. You know what I mean? Will he do this? Will he do this for Diddy? What does Diddy have to offer for a Trump pardon? Freak offs, golden showers. I don't. What did NBA YoungBoy offer to Trump? What did Kodak Black offer to Trump? What did Larry Hoover offer to Trump? You know what I'm saying? I keep hearing that, but you know, I don't see what these people have had offered to Trump for their pardon. Mean Streets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm telling you, I do know he did stay in Trump Towers before. I do know that. I know he didn't really endorse Trump though. That could be an issue, a problem. But I mean, you know, I mean, we'll see. But now, I don't know if you guys, some of you guys might know NBA YoungBoy, some of you guys might not know NBA YoungBoy. But NBA YoungBoy was pardoned also. Okay, and I'm going to read to you. This is courtesy of Newsweek. On Wednesday, President Donald Trump pardoned rapper Kentrell Deshaun Gaudin, known as NBA YoungBoy. The White House has confirmed to Newsweek via email. Rising to fame in the mid-2010s, the Louisiana native has been arrested. Okay, he has been arrested. Of course, he's arrested because you know he's been being held, right? Multiple times since 2014 with charges ranging from robbery and attempted murder and to drug and firearm offenses. Wow. Wow. That's, man, this guy, man. NBA YoungBoy's remark after Trump's pardon in a statement posted to social media, the rapper said, I want to thank President Trump for granting me a pardon and giving me the opportunity to keep building. As a man, as a father, and as an artist, this moment means a lot. It opens the door to a future I've worked hard for, and I am fully prepared to step into this. Okay. He also thanked Trump's pardon czar, Alice Johnson. All right. Young boy continued. Big thanks to pardon czar Miss Alice Marie Johnson for fighting for second chances for so many people, and to my lawyer, Brittany K. Barnett, for being in my corner and all your hard work to make this possible. And thank you to everyone who believed in me. So NBA YoungBoy has gotten a pardon, and he will be going home. He will be going home, federal pardon. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana, YoungBoy is a prominent American rapper known for his emotionally raw music and relentless output, rising to fame with mixtapes like 38 Baby and Al YoungBoy. He quickly gained a loyal following for his confessional style and gritty portrayal of street life. Despite limited mainstream media presence, his projects frequently top the charts, and he boasts billions of views on YouTube. He has 16.3 million monthly Spotify listeners with more than 15 billion total streams on the 681 songs in which he appears. Wow. All right. So he's a streaming giant, NBA YoungBoy. In 2024, while under house arrest in Utah, the rapper was arrested for allegedly running a prescription drug fraud ring out of his multi-million-dollar home. He faced 63 charges, including identity fraud and forgery. An extensive plea agreement resulted in a 23-month federal prison sentence, a $25,000 fine, and 5 years of supervised probation following his release. With credit for time served, he was released in April and transferred to a halfway house in Phoenix, Arizona, to complete the remainder of his sentence under supervision. He served 11 months of his 23-month sentence. His decade-long history of arrests has not seemed to slow his productivity, as YoungBoy has released numerous albums and mixtapes while incarcerated or under legal restrictions. The White House did not explain why Trump pardoned the rapper. The pardon forgives YoungBoy's federal crimes, though it does not erase any convictions from the record or imply innocence. All right, so that is the pardon of NBA YoungBoy. All right. It says Trump's move to pardon NBA YoungBoy comes amid a flurry of pardons for convicted Americans, mostly for those he fell victim to a politicized and weaponized justice system. It was also announced on Wednesday that the president commuted the sentence of former Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover, all right, who had been serving a life sentence at a Supermax prison in Colorado. All right, Hoover's son, Larry Hoover Jr., has been outspoken about his father's time in jail and was featured in the rapper Kanye West's 2021 song, Jesus Lord. The artist, now known as Ye and Drake, then held a concert calling for Hoover's release. All right. Kanye also spoke to Donald Trump in the Oval Office during his first term in 2018, advocating for Larry Hoover's work while in prison. All right. Okay, so I mean, pretty much that's that right there. You know, Larry Hoover, his sentence has been commuted federally. Still got to serve that 200 years. We'll see. I have some breaking news on that if it arrives over the next few days or weeks. If the state of Illinois go ahead and commutes or pardons Larry Hoover also. But until now, he is going to still be locked up behind bars in state prison out there inside Illinois. NBA YoungBoy, he's definitely coming home, and he has the full pardon, and he will be free to roam the streets and do whatever he wants to do. In the meantime, and like I said, this begs the question. People have been in my comments saying that Diddy will get that pardon from Trump. Now this, now Trump pardon Kodak Black also. This is shaping up for that type of pardon. You know what I'm saying? From Trump. You know, I wasn't really believing he would do it. But now with him doing this, you know, I believe there's an outside chance Trump can and may very well just go ahead and pardon Diddy eventually after, if he's convicted of, you know, the federal racketeering charge. And if he's pardoned, that means he goes free, because this is not state, this is federal. Pardon would be, or, you know, commutation would be straight up, you go home free, you know, because he hasn't been charged with state. He's not convicted of state charges. He's not convicted of federal charges yet either. But if he's get convicted of federal charges and his racketeering RICO, Trump, you know, I'm looking at his recent history, a history of pardons and commutations. I'm thinking, you know, Diddy would have a chance to get pardoned by Trump now. You know, I gotta go with the history. I gotta go with what I'm seeing. You know, I gotta go with what I'm seeing of Trump pardoning rappers and people that you wouldn't expect him to pardon. You know, like I said, Diddy did stay in this hotel. Although Diddy didn't really endorse Trump for president, you know, Diddy, but who knows? We know in the back, you know, off camera and out of the newspaper. I don't know how close they were, 100%, but who knows? I believe it's possible for Diddy to get a pardon from Trump now that y'all see in this news. You can't say it's 100% out of the question anymore. You know, I can't say it's 100% out of the question for Trump to pardon Diddy. Now, I can't see him doing it now while the trial is going on. I can see him doing it when he's about to leave office. I think there's a chance now because Trump is, you know, pardoning people that I would have never thought he would. Let me see. Salute to the chat. Salute Jesse Shorts. How you doing? Salute to the chat. What's good? Why not pardon R. Kelly also? Ooh, now R. Kelly. I don't know. R. Kelly might be a tough one because I don't know how close he was to R. Kelly either. Now R. Kelly. Now I know Diddy is on trial for trafficking, a lot of sexual stuff, right? R. Kelly's crimes was basically what, trafficking, right? I mean, I don't. Well, like I said, we'll see. First, we got to see what Diddy is convicted of first. If he gets convicted, you know, if the jury finds him guilty, what exactly would he be convicted of, and will Trump be willing to pardon whatever he's convicted of? You know what I'm saying? You know. Hit the like button, y'all. Salute to you guys. Hit the like button. So he let a bunch of violent black pookies out. Hey, you know, people been calling free Hoover. People been saying free him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people are happy about it. Some people not. Some people are happy. You know, so you know, people be, you know, got to get convicted before you get, but not really. I've read this. The president can pardon you without you even being convicted yet federally, Jesse Shorts. Let me explain. Dr. Fauci has been given a pardon, preemptive pardon by Joe Biden, and he hasn't even been charged. You can give preemptive pardons for certain things. It has been done before. Dr. Fauci has been given pardon preemptively. People ask how. That's the power of the presidential pardon. Trump can pardon Diddy right now if he wanted to without a conviction. He could just pardon those federal. He can give him a full outright pardon according to the law. If you guys Google it, let me see if I still have it up in here. If you guys Google presidential powers with pardon, Trump can pardon Diddy right now. I don't see him doing that in a million years right now before the conviction. That's just not going to happen. But yeah, I don't have it saved in here. But yeah, Trump, the president of the USA, can pardon someone before convicted. I read that. I was shocked when I read that, but he can. If Trump wanted to go out and pardon Diddy right now, he could pardon him. Google it. Matter of fact, let me bring it up. Trump, let me see. Presidential pardon powers. I'm going to read it for you guys. Presidential pardon powers. You're going to be shocked. Like I said, but it only goes for federal, not state, right? So that's the reason why big Larry Hoover is going to be staying in prison for 200 years, state, because of the state charges, unless the governor of that state, pardons him or commutes his sentence. Okay. The U.S. presidential pardon powers. The U.S. president has the power to grant pardons, reprieves and amnesties for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment, meaning he can't pardon himself. So the president cannot pardon himself. This power outlined in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution allows the president to forgive or lessen penalties for federal crimes, offenses against the United States. The pardon power applies only to offenses committed against the federal government, not state crimes, okay? Cases of impeachment. The president cannot pardon individuals who have been impeached by the House of Reps, okay? Executive clemency. The president can grant various forms of clemency, including pardons, commutations of sentence, reducing the length of sentences. That's what happened with Larry Hoover. Reducing the length of sentence, remission of fines or restitution, and reprieves, temporarily delaying a sentence. All right. Limitations. While broad, the pardon power is not unlimited. It cannot be used to overturn court judgments or to pardon someone for a private wrong. All right. Political considerations. The pardon power has also been viewed as a political tool used to address potential injustices or to resolve political situations. All right. So let me see. The president can exercise the pardon power without the approval of Congress or the courts. All right. Limited by Constitution. While broad, the pardon power is still subject to constitutional limitations, including the requirement that it only applies to federal offenses, that it only, that it only applies to federal offenses, and the prohibition against pardoning in cases of impeachment. So, of course, I read that already, the impeachment part. Potential for abuse. There are concerns about the potential for abuse of the pardon power, when it is used politically, for reasons to get, for political motivations. They don't, they say that that's a potential of abuse using the pardon powers. The pardon power is intended as a tool for justice and mercy, and to ensure that the government does not inflict punishment when it is not warranted. Okay. Let me see. I want to get to the part where it said, like I said, Diddy can be pardoned right now, even though he's not convicted, because the president does have the power. If you search Dr. Fauci, he has the power to pardon even before during the trial, which Diddy's is going on right now, and after the conviction. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Let me just type in. But hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. NBA Young Doug got the full pardon. Hit the like, says Tuddy's World. Salute to you, Tuddy's World. Salute to you. Jesse says, okay, Raze, good to know. I stand corrected. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought the same thing. I mean, but that's super questionable. Why pardon Dr. Fauci unless he lied to us all? Hey, that he got pardoned. Preemptive. It's called a presidential preemptive pardon. You can Google it yourself. Yeah, Just the Fact says, okay, so he has it. A presidential pardon can be granted preemptively, meaning before someone is convicted or even charged with a federal crime. Trump can pardon Diddy right now. Boom, right there. So he just did it. Yeah, I got it right here. Also, just the facts. A presidential pardon can be granted at any stage, including during a trial, and it is a form of legal forgiveness that ends any further punishment and restores rights. Okay, so during the trial, well, right now. So Trump could be like, hey, you know what? I'm sick of watching this Diddy case on my TV stream. I'm sick of seeing reports of it. Let me have some fun. Let me go ahead and pardon Diddy. Let me flex. Let me flex and show people my presidential pardon powers and just say, hey, Diddy, you're pardoned. Then the feds, they would have to release him. These are not state charges, not state. These are federal charges. Now it'll be up to like New York State if they say, all right, I wonder, can New York? I guess New York State will be able to bring him up on charges after he is pardoned federally. I don't know if they would pursue it, but that's that right there. So I'm thinking right now, it's a chance. It's a chance that he will be pardoned, but I don't think Trump would do it preemptively, or not preemptively, but during the trial. He'll wait for the conviction, and then when Trump is about to leave office, and Trump will probably do like 200 or 300 pardons when he's about to leave office, and just put Diddy down there as a pardon. Let him sit for like a couple of years if he is convicted, and then pardon him, like along with like 200 or more people that he's planning on giving clemency to. That's my guess. If that's how that would go down. I guess depending on what exactly Diddy is convicted of, if it's the S trafficking or, but there is a shot. There is a shot that Trump will do that. You know what I mean? Trump likes headlines too. Trump likes headlines. What bigger headline would it be when Trump is leaving office? Would he have it to leave a legacy of giving Diddy a full presidential pardon? He wants he likes headlines. He likes attention. So, I've been effing with Trump since 2015. He would not pardon Diddy, y'all wildin'. Hey, who would have thought he would commute Larry Hoover of all people? Who would have thought? Now let me see this other person, Todd Chrisley. Let me see. I know y'all was mentioning that, but I did see he pardoned Todd Chrisley also. I don't know if a lot of you people know who that is, but let me just bring it up anyway. Diddy will need to make a donation to the Trump Presidential Library. Haha, the pardon won't be for free. Hey, who knows? Back channels, you know what I'm saying? Trump and New Yorker, they started together. Well, like I said, Diddy did stay inside Trump's hotel before. You know what I'm saying? Why is this doing that? All right, I'm trying to bring this up, but having issues with my Wi-Fi. Nobody gives a F, says the warrior. Nobody gives a F. Well, thank you for your comment, and thank you for coming in and writing that comment. You're helping the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you cared enough to come in here and put that comment in. Thank you, and I appreciate you. Thanks for helping. You know what I'm saying? And only Democrats pardon those charged with S crimes. Let me see. Hit the like button, though, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Oh, they asked me if am I a robot or not. I'm like, do I look like a robot? So that's why it wasn't coming up. What are they doing? What is this doing? I am not a robot. Somebody trying to hack my Google? Like, what is going on? All right. Okay, I'm gonna read. This is Todd Chrisley released from prison following Trump pardon. Now, this is according to Fox News. Todd Chrisley. Y'all know this couple? Y'all, some of y'all probably don't know who these people are. On Wednesday evening, the Chrisley Knows Best star, he had a show called Chrisley Knows Best, age 56, walked out of federal prison in Pensacola, Florida, after serving 2.5 years in prison on bank fraud and tax evasion charges. Ooh, big charges. Big charges. According to his lawyer, Alex Little's office, the release comes shortly after President Donald Trump signed pardons for both Todd and his wife. So they were both in prison. His wife, Julie, who was also convicted of the same charges in 2022. Todd has been released from prison and is on his way home to Nashville. The lawyer's office told Fox News Digital, "We are awaiting word on Julie." All right. Julie is expected to be released from the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky on Wednesday. According to the couple's daughter, Savannah Chrisley, her brother Grayson is picking up their mom. All right. This process has been absolutely insane, and I am so grateful that I'm going to leave here with my dad. All right. Savannah claimed that prosecutors had her father's head on a dartboard before his prison sentence. She read Trump's pardon to the reporters, which stated an immediate release, and she said she hopes the prison is going to do that shortly. All right. Savannah said Trump's pardon for her parents literally came out of nowhere. So there was no warning. She was shocked and surprised. I was in such shock and all that the president himself took the time to tell me my family is coming back together, she said during her interview. Savannah got emotional while explaining her constant fight to get her parents released from prison wasn't just for them. I'm literally fighting for every man that has been left behind here, she said, referring to the prisoners in the federal prison in Pensacola. All right, so Todd Chrisley, right there. That's them. That's that couple. For people that don't know, they had a reality show on cable. All right. Trump will pardon Diddy if convicted. He don't want him talking about the freak-offs in Trump's towers. What up, Travel Squad? Salute. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Brothers, get your passports. The Matrix is becoming more a joke every day. And at the end of the day, the joke is on us. Black man, says Passport Bro News. Well, of course, I got my passport already. Oh, so Trey knows about Todd Chrisley. He said their show needs to return to TV. So you think he's gonna go back to TV after getting this presidential pardon? Like I said, to recap, man, Trump has pardoned NBA YoungBoy, rapper NBA YoungBoy, commuted Larry Hoover's federal sentence, even though he's gonna stay in prison to do the state sentence, 200 years, unless the state governor pardons him or commutes a sentence. And Todd Chrisley and his wife, Julie. They were pardoned for, right there. Yep. Todd is mad zesty. Oh, man. Jack Black says free Diddy. Now, I think you're going to get, after this, I'm starting to think that Trump Trump may just go ahead and pardon Diddy on his way out towards the end. I really do believe that. I think it's setting up for that. I think there's precedent for this at, seeing who he is pardoning these days. It would not surprise me if he was to pardon Diddy, if Diddy was to be convicted. But like I said, it'd be towards the end. I can't see him doing it while he's in the middle of his term. It'd be towards the end. It'd be a pardon dump, like how the president's pardon a bunch of people at the end of their term. Headlines, I'm telling you. So Tony Lanez is next. You believe that? For Tory Lanez is next. What didn't they say? Tory Lanez was headed out, and he got stabbed 14 times. For some reason, they were saying he's going to be released. Didn't they? Yeah. The fact that Trump didn't pardon R. Kelly means he's not going to pardon him. I have no right. It's up in the air. Now, I understand you're saying that R. Kelly he had the S crimes, right? Diddy is charged with S trafficking. Will he get convicted of S trafficking, or will he just get convicted of racketeering? That's a tough one. I think people see R. Kelly as, well, I guess both. I think it'd be, if Trump was to pardon R. Kelly, I think it'd kind of be more like, those charges are more sexual in nature, but I guess you could say Diddy's is too, because Diddy is with all the baby oil and the S trafficking charges. Now, those were consenting adults. Oh, man, that's a tough one. I think R. Kelly is more synonymous with the S stuff, and of course, you've seen the S tape back in the days that he beat those charges with that girl. It just depends. I mean, I can see Trump doing it. I can see Trump doing it more than ever now with this Larry Hoover commutation and NBA YoungBoy. Yeah, I can see it. Because at that time, Trump would be in like his 80s, or close to his 80s by that time. Can't run again for president. That would be a big headline. I don't see why he wouldn't. It's like, at this point, I don't see why he wouldn't. Now, if Diddy was on trial for assault, doing physical harm, that type, R-word type crimes, yeah, that would be, I don't think Trump would do it. But yeah, I definitely can see Trump doing it now. Yeah, without a doubt, I can see Trump pardoning Diddy. Yeah. Raze, I watched your video on bus from San Jose. However, the website for the bus is not active anymore. Oh no, we're out of business. The website is out of. You got to go to 7-11. 7-11. It's the bus station. There's a bus station in San Jose. Now they want you to book it online. Maybe you can go down to the bus station and get a ticket, but they were saying I had to book it online, or maybe they were saying it was better to book it online, But what like you could just take a cab from San Jose to that bus station, 7-11, and go ahead and buy the ticket there. Because there are other buses that go there to Hako Beach also. Maybe a little more expensive though than the $6 bus I took, But hit that like button, guys. All right, Trump not going to pardon R. Kelly. I don't see Trump pardoning R. Kelly, but Diddy I can see. And was R. Kelly, was that a federal crime, R. Kelly? Or was that state? Let me see what R. Kelly was convicted of. Was it federal? Because if it was state, Trump can't pardon him anyway. Let me see R. Kelly. What was R. Kelly charged with? One, let me see. Yeah, I mean, that'd be good to know, right? R. Kelly. Yeah, because if it was state charges, Trump can't pardon him anyway. It had to be federal. Federal. These are all federal, guys. All right. So R. Kelly was. So it was federal. Okay. So R. Kelly was charged federally. All right. Chicago recording artist R. Kelly indicted and arrested on federal child pornography obstruction charges. Trump is not pardoned. Trump is not. Yeah, he's not going to pardon R. Kelly for that. I mean, that's let me see. Yeah. Now, although trafficking is in the charges for Diddy, I mean that was so specific. R. Kelly, that's just different. He's not gonna pardon R. Kelly, but like I said, I can see him pardoning Diddy now. He says free Diddy, says Blaze. Trump will pardon Diddy, not R. Kelly. Yeah, that's my guess. You know, if he were to do it, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna pardon. That'll be crazy surprising if he pardons R. Kelly. Yeah, they brought up the guns. They brought up the guns with the array serial numbers. That was testified last week by the federal agent that raided his Florida home. They did bring up the serial numbers being scratched off. Travel Squad, I covered that. You know, definitely. Matter of fact, stay right there. That's why you gotta subscribe to this channel, guys. Raze, we're covering the Diddy case right there. That was the evidence right there. They had put in front of the jurors last week. Travel Squad. They said, "Yo, the serial numbers were scratched off of this weapon right here, and why would he do that?" Well, and Diddy's defense lawyer said, "Hey, well, you can still trace the gun with fingerprints, right?" They was asking the federal agent. They were like, "Well, you can still track the gun with the fingerprints and this and that. So the scratching off of the serial number is not really no big deal. And it's Florida." They asked the federal agent, "Hey, most people have guns in Florida, right? So why would you be surprised that Diddy would have a gun inside his house in Florida?" And then Diddy's lawyer asked the federal agent, "Hey, don't you have a gun in your house?" And then the federal agent said, "Yes." So that's how the Diddy's lawyers handled that question about the gun and the serial number. So yeah, but you guys subscribe to this channel. We're covering the Diddy case also. So hit that like button. Anybody that's new to the channel, we are covering the Diddy case. You know. Let me see. Thank you, Travel Squad. Thanks, Travel Squad. Yeah, I appreciate that. Diddy needs rehab seriously. Now, Diddy is he's a sex fiend. He's weird. He's a weirdo. Diddy is a weird person. He's very weird. Strange person. Not my type of guy. He's a weirdo. His fetishes, his just yeah, covering that trial, we hear some of the wildest stuff with Diddy and his fetishes and just weird. Highly weird. Lock him away. CP is crazy, says Blaze. Yeah, federal and state charges. Okay. Federal and state says travel. Well, all right, just the facts. Okay. Yeah, and the child pornography stuff. That's not. Nah. Trump would lose cool points by giving R. Kelly a pardon. you know, with that type of charge. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, Diddy does have the S trafficking portion of it, but they're not talking about underage stuff. Not yet on the live trial that I've been covering. You know, maybe they'll get to that. Maybe federal prosecutors will get to that. Now, federal prosecutors said today at the end that this trial should be over in like another 2 weeks. That they are about to rest their case in like by the second week of June, by the way, guys. And they said that they might not even call all of the witnesses that they have. They said they're going to cut some of the witnesses, the federal prosecutor said. So seem like they are confident that they will get a conviction of Diddy, and that they plan on wrapping this up by the second week of June. So get your popcorn ready, guys. See what those 12 jurors you know, have to say. You know. Yep. And if his gun's registered, what's the problem? Yeah, well, now then the scratching off of the serial numbers, that could be an issue because it's like, well, what were you planning on using the guns for? You scratching off the serial number so they can't be traced, right? You know, Jesse Shorts is like, let's be honest, let's be men here. You write out those serial numbers just in case you have to use it, and you don't want it to be tracked, right? You don't want it to track back to whoever bought it, or you know what I'm saying? From the store that you bought it from, you know. So there's a reason why you would erase the serial numbers off of a gun. That's just, you know, my opinion and common sense. Yeah. That's come on. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, thanks, guys. Had to take a phone call, important call. Yeah, but like I said, guys, like I said, Diddy may get his pardon eventually. Hit that like button. Monique Anderson, I wish more credible celebs would testify. It creeps me out that they are still so quiet. Justin Bieber and Usher, especially French Montana, Young Miami, Meek Mill, etc., says Monique Anderson. Shout out to you, Monique Anderson. Hit the like button. Travel Squad facts. They are staking charges, unserialized firearms are federal legal if you built it federally. All right, legal if you built it yourself, says Blaze. Well, while I'm here, I'm sorry about that delay, guys. I had to be on the phone a little bit. Let me play for you. This was a prosecutor, a former prosecutor, talking on Fox News about the case, guys. So take a look at this before we head out of there, about Diddy maybe walking. And also, I got some news on Suge Knight also. Suge Knight actually made some comments about, matter of fact, stay right there. Matter of fact, guys, Suge Knight made some comments. Let me bring that up. That might surprise you guys. Suge Knight said that Diddy should not be found guilty. And that's Suge Knight, a former enemy of Diddy, and right there. Let me bring that up. Hit that like button though. Hit that like button. All right, let me play this. All right, let me bring this up. Let me see. Suge Knight says Diddy should walk free while other execs face charges. All right. So that's Suge Knight saying Diddy should indeed walk free while the other executives face charges. And yeah, right. All right, and this was from earlier today. I played this video earlier. Fox News, former federal prosecutor saying Diddy, strong possibility that he could walk.
John Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial will resume tomorrow as a third personal assistant is set to take the stand. Over the first couple of weeks, jury members heard explosive testimony detailing the alleged physical and emotional abuse Combs caused. Let's bring in David Gelman, former prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. David, welcome.
Hey, Mike, good to be here.
So in week 2 of testimony, jurors heard from a dozen witnesses as prosecutors try to prove sex trafficking and racketeering. What are your expectations when court resumes tomorrow?
It's going to be really interesting tomorrow when Diddy's third or fourth assistant takes a stand, and she's going to actually corroborate Kid Cudi's testimony from last week, where he said that Diddy and another associate of his bombed his Porsche years ago at his house. Now, you have to have corroboration about that because nobody can put Diddy there. And in fact, nobody even can say Diddy's the actual one who did it. But if they can say that Diddy or an associate of his did it, then you may have a racketeering charge there. Because right now, as it stands, Mike, nothing, and I mean nothing, is sticking to Diddy.
Diddy's lawyers are trying to make the case that his escapades do not amount to federal crimes. How difficult is that argument?
I think they're doing a fantastic job, honestly. Look, everybody has said, and Diddy's lawyers even said it in their opening statement, Diddy is not a good guy. There's a lot of domestic violence that occurred between him and Cassie in their relationship. However, what we've heard so far from the testimony of Cassie and the other individuals does not amount to the federal charges that he's being charged with right now. I'm not going to say anything that we heard is very good because it's all horrific. However, the state or the government in this particular instance needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he conspired to racketeer, to sex traffic, and to promote prostitution. So far, they're falling way behind in this. And I know there's a lot more to go in this trial because they're saying it's going to be about 8 weeks. But the government really better step on the gas because they don't have a lot more time to go.
So the play seems to be maybe admit to a state crime that avoids prison time. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, again, you're hearing about all this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Interesting. David Gelman, thank you very much for your analysis today.
And you have it right there from that former federal prosecutor and defense attorney saying Diddy, strong possibility he could walk. Hit the like button though, guys. Suge Knight is probably talking about the white men who run the labels. Clyde Davis, yes. Diddy knows Trump, sure. Suge Knight don't know Trump. He's staying in jail. Brandon Clark racketeering charges too. Yeah, he had Rico racketeering. Yep, they got him on all that right there. Brandon Clark. All right, guys. So hit that like button. Thank you guys for pulling up. We'll see if what happens tomorrow in the courtroom with Diddy. And shout out to everybody for watching. Let's go Knicks tomorrow. I'll be covering that. Also, see if they can make it 3-2 at the Garden. Salute to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Raze, and I am out.